Todo el mundo quiere que estés ahí. Join us on a rigorous step-by-step journey to fluency. I'm Timothy, and this is LearnCraft Spanish. Today we're going to keep practicing beber and our location adverbs from yesterday, and we'll also learn some new location nouns, such as the words for city, street, and world. Let's begin with the word for country, which is the masculine noun país, spelled P-A-I-S, but with an accent on the I. País. This word specifically means country, as in which country you're from, not the countryside. For example, no, he's in another country.
No, está en otro país.
The word for city is ciudad, spelled C-I-U-D-A-D. Ciudad. This is a feminine noun. So, for example, are they still in the city?
¿Todavía están en la ciudad?
You would use the word ciudad for a large or small city, or maybe for a large town. But for a smaller town, you'll use the word pueblo. You might particularly use this word to talk about someone's hometown. So, for example, I haven't been in my hometown in a while.
No he estado en mi pueblo en un tiempo.
The word pueblo can also refer to people, but specifically in the sense of a group of people with a common background or identity, typically people from the same region or the same ethnicity. For example, I want to be with my people.
Quiero estar con mi pueblo.
Let's practice the terms país, ciudad, and pueblo. This town is in the middle of the country.
Este pueblo está en el medio del país. Este pueblo está en el medio del país.
The next one uses an imperfect form of deber. You should have been in the biggest city of that country.
Debías estar en la ciudad más grande de ese país. Debías estar en la ciudad más grande de ese país.
The people of Venezuela want to be more safe.
El pueblo de Venezuela quiere ser más seguro. El pueblo de Venezuela quiere ser más seguro.
I must be inside the city and not underneath.
Debo estar dentro de la ciudad y no abajo. Debo estar dentro de la ciudad y no abajo.
Now let's learn the names of a couple of places in a city that you might talk about. The word for hospital is hospital, spelled exactly like the English word. This is a masculine noun. For example, luckily she isn't in the hospital anymore.
Por suerte, ya no está en el hospital.
Notice that we kept the word el before hospital. In some English dialects, we might say in hospital, but in Spanish, you'll typically keep the article. In general, in Spanish, institutions such as church, government, or school keep an article before them. Let's go ahead and look at one of the Spanish words for school, which is escuela, spelled E-S-C-U-E-L-A. When you talk about being in school or at school, you typically say en la escuela, not en escuela. For example, no, she can't talk. She's at school today.
No, no puede hablar. Está en la escuela hoy.
And then the word for hotel is hotel, spelled just like the English word. This one is masculine. For example, we spent 3 nights in a hotel outside the city.
Pasamos 3 noches en un hotel fuera de la ciudad.
Let's practice hospital, escuela, and hotel. You should be at the hospital and not in a hotel.
Deberías estar en el hospital y no en un hotel. Deberías estar en el hospital y no en un hotel.
That place is outside the school.
Ese lugar está fuera de la escuela. Ese lugar está fuera de la escuela.
The hospital and the school are in the same city.
El hospital y la escuela están en la misma ciudad. El hospital y la escuela están en la misma ciudad.
The next one uses an imperfect of deber. I had to be at the hotel on time.
Debía estar en el hotel a tiempo. Debía estar en el hotel a tiempo.
Now let's zoom in a little and look at some of the pieces that make up a city or town or building. The word for street is calle, and the word for door is puerta. These are both feminine nouns. For example, we were going along the street and saw a big door.
Estábamos yendo por la calle y vimos una puerta grande.
Incidentally, a common term for the back door is actually la puerta de atrás, using one of our adverbs from yesterday. For example, we passed through the back door.
Pasamos por la puerta de atrás.
And then the word cuarto means room, typically referring to a place someone might sleep, such as a bedroom or a guest's room in a hotel. Here's an example. He's in his room.
Está en su cuarto.
Let's practice calle, puerta, and cuarto. You have to go to the end of the street and you'll see the door.
Tienes que ir al final de la calle y verás la puerta. Tienes que ir al final de la calle y verás la puerta.
We should be in our rooms.
Deberíamos estar en nuestros cuartos. Deberíamos estar en nuestros cuartos.
My room's door is big.
La puerta de mi cuarto es grande. La puerta de mi cuarto es grande.
No, it's not in front. You should go to the back door.
No, no está adelante. Deberías ir a la puerta de atrás. No, no está adelante. Deberías ir a la puerta de atrás.
Maybe she must go to the street.
Quizás deba ir a la calle. Quizás deba ir a la calle.
Our next two words are words that you already know. Parte, which roughly means part, and lado, which normally means side. The thing is, these words behave in an interesting way when you put an indefinite adjective before one of them. For example, check out this sentence.
Debe estar en otra parte.
So this is literally, it must be in another part. But what we're likely referring to is actually another place. Now let's try something similar with a different indefinite adjective, cualquier. You can go to any place.
Puedes ir a cualquier lado.
So literally, you can go to any side, but lado tends to mean place when used with an indefinite adjective. And actually, a phrase like this, cualquier lado or cualquier parte, is often how the word anywhere is translated into Spanish. Try it yourself with this next one using parte. He can go anywhere.
Puede ir a cualquier parte. Puede ir a cualquier parte.
Let's practice this. In these first two examples, we'll use parte. This first one uses a preterite of deber. She should have gone anywhere.
Debió ir a cualquier parte. Debió ir a cualquier parte.
Not over there, anywhere.
No allá, en cualquier parte. No allá, en cualquier parte.
In these next two, we'll use lado. This first one uses a preterite of deber. We should have gone anywhere.
Debimos ir a cualquier lado. Debimos ir a cualquier lado.
It can be anywhere, even outside.
Puede estar en cualquier lado, hasta afuera. Puede estar en cualquier lado, hasta afuera.
We have just two more nouns to learn. The word for world is mundo. For example, this is the best place in the world.
Este es el mejor lugar del mundo.
Notice that we said del mundo rather than en el mundo, literally the best place of the world. This is actually something that happens a lot in Spanish using de, where in English we use on or in. And that's because whenever we single one thing out among a group, we use de, not en. Here's another example. He's the biggest on the team.
Él es el más grande del equipo.
The word mundo is used in a very common idiom, todo el mundo, which is a common way to say everybody. And sure, it literally seems to mean all the world, but you'll use it to refer to everybody, anytime you're trying to make it clear you're referencing an entire group. For example, everybody wants you to be there.
Todo el mundo quiere que estés ahí.
Notice that we said quiere rather than quieren because this takes the singular. Our last word is sort of a synonym for mundo. It's tierra, which means earth. Just like in English, in Spanish the words world and earth mean similar things, but they're used in slightly different ways. In general, in our quizzing, you can expect world to translate as mundo and earth to translate as tierra. For example, she wants everything on earth to be hers.
Quiere que todo en la tierra sea suyo.
Let's practice mundo and tierra. Everyone over there is happy.
Todo el mundo allá está feliz. Todo el mundo allá está feliz.
In the next one, you're speaking to a feminine person. You must be nice with the earth.
Debe ser buena con la tierra. Debe ser buena con la tierra.
The world is really big.
El mundo es muy grande. El mundo es muy grande.
The next one uses the participle of deber. The world has had to be better.
El mundo ha debido ser mejor. El mundo ha debido ser mejor.
For more practice with any of this, feel free to dig deeper at lcspodcast.com/109. Or if you're ready, let's go on to today's final quiz. Maybe we must not be in the street.
Quizás no debamos estar en la calle. Quizás no debamos estar en la calle.
The next one uses the future tense of deber. Everybody will have to go to the back door.
Todo el mundo deberá ir a la puerta de atrás. Todo el mundo deberá ir a la puerta de atrás.
We must be in the city that month.
Debemos estar en la ciudad ese mes. Debemos estar en la ciudad ese mes.
The next one uses a preterite of deber. I shouldn't have gone backwards.
No debí ir hacia atrás. No debí ir hacia atrás.
I should be in my room and not in another place.
Debería estar en mi cuarto y no en otro lado. Debería estar en mi cuarto y no en otro lado.
Maybe you must go to another place.
Quizás debas ir a otra parte. Quizás debas ir a otra parte.
It might be that she mustn't leave the country.
Puede que no deba irse del país. Puede que no deba irse del país.
The next one uses a preterite of deber. They must have been with their people.
Debieron estar con su pueblo. Debieron estar con su pueblo.
They should be at the school right now.
Deberían estar en la escuela ahora. Deberían estar en la escuela ahora.
The next one uses an imperfect of deber. She had to go over there.
Debía ir para allá. Debía ir para allá.
The door to the hospital must be near.
La puerta del hospital debe estar cerca. La puerta del hospital debe estar cerca.
They must come over here, to this town.
Deben venir para acá, a este pueblo. Deben venir para acá, a este pueblo.
The next one uses a preterite of deber. You should have been there, far from the world.
Debiste estar ahí, lejos del mundo. Debiste estar ahí, lejos del mundo.
The next one uses a future tense of deber. You'll have to do that to the earth.
Deberás hacerle eso a la tierra. Deberás hacerle eso a la tierra.
My friend should go there.
Mi amigo debería ir allí. Mi amigo debería ir allí.
The next one uses an imperfect of deber. We should have gone behind the hotel.
Debíamos ir atrás del hotel. Debíamos ir atrás del hotel.
For more practice with all of this, go to lcspodcast.com/109 or tune in tomorrow for a big quiz to practice everything we've learned this week. This show is brought to you by LearnCraftSpanish.com. The Spanish voice in this episode was our coach Michael Agudelo. Our music was performed by the Seattle Marimba Quartet, and I'm Timothy, encouraging you to do the hard work of learning Spanish. Acquiring a second language is one of the most fulfilling things you can do, so start your fluency journey today at lcspodcast.com.